We're just waiting for Marty. He's must be ADH. Okay. We're all set, Marty? Okay, meeting is called to order. And my first order of business is roll call, and we do it a little different now. This time we're going to start with Marty. We're going to ask each person up here to introduce themselves.
Marty Loisel, Westerly zoning official.
Larry Burns.
John Robinson, Vice Chair.
Larry Chopper, chairperson.
Alan Martone.
Lori Moore.
Leonard Saponari.
And Chloe Chanel over there, who keeps us on the straight and narrow as she makes sense of us. Okay, and unseen is Lenny Fuller. He is our tech person, keeps everything running here. Without him, we couldn't do it. Okay. I do have to read into the record. We do it all the time. Please don't fall asleep while I do this, but it is required. And it works even better if I put my reading glasses on. Okay. The Zoning Board of Review has established procedural rules and guidelines for the administration of applications and the conduct of its meetings and public hearings. The rules of procedure amended in December of 2021 are posted on the town's website and are available here tonight. The Zoning Board hears applications for relief from the provisions of the zoning ordinance and renders its decisions based on specific facts found in the documents and testimony submitted. It is the applicant's burden to prove that relief from the zoning ordinance is warranted. To do so, an applicant must provide evidence that each criterion of approval listed in section 260.33 for variances and section 260.34 for special use permits have been met. If you are appealing the decision of the zoning officer, administrative officer, or planning board, you are here to convince the board that the officer's or board's decision was an error, either procedurally or legally. This evening, we have 3 items to address, and we do not take up a new item after 9:00 p.m. Each application shall be heard in a manner that permits the board to obtain and consider the evidence in an orderly and meaningful manner. Testimony begins with the zoning official's summary of the application and his recommendation. The application and all documentation submitted by the applicant prior to the meeting will be marked as exhibits and made part of the record. Applicants should assume that the members of the zoning board have reviewed all the materials submitted with the application. Tonight's presentation by the applicant should be limited to information relevant to the burden of proof and not recite or repeat information already submitted with the application. Any new information received by the board this evening will be entered into the record. However, the board retains the right to continue the public hearing to fully digest any information presented. All questioning of witnesses shall be at the discretion of the chair. All questioning of witnesses shall occur when the witness is called. The proponent of the witness shall ask its questions. Interested parties shall then ask the witness their questions, and the proponent may then ask follow-up questions. Presentation, I just also want to add up that all questions should be through the chair. Presentation of an affirmative case by any interested party other than the applicant will be allowed as part of the public hearing following the applicant's presentation. Continuation or closing of the public hearing is at the discretion of the zoning board. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve. First one was from December 10th, and the following people were not at that meeting, so please do not vote on this. Lori, Leonard, and Stu. I will need a motion to approve the minutes of the December 10th.
So moved. Oh, I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. The next one is the minutes from the January 14th meeting, and the only one missing there was our vice chairperson, Dawn Robinson, so she will not be voting on this meeting, on this one. I need a motion to approve the January. It's been moved, seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Marty, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, the second application, 2 Gray Cats Properties LLC, 18 Franklin Street, needs to be continued to the March 11th, 2026 zoning board meeting. The applicant did not mail out the notices to the abutters, so he was given new notices, and he should be available and ready
Okay.
by the March 11th
All right,
meeting.
so we're waiting for the notices. Okay. I'll need a motion to move 2 Great Cats properties to March 11th.
So moved.
Second? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. All right. So our first application is Neil and Susan Walsh, 9 Crandall Avenue. And if the people representing that would come up. In the meantime, Marty, could you fill us in?
The applicant is requesting a 7.7-foot front yard setback variance to construct a 2-foot 6-inch expansion of an existing front deck, as well as a 6.1-foot westerly side setback variance and a 5.6-foot easterly side setback variance to construct a 4-foot extension of an existing rear deck at 9 Crandall Avenue, pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10 Schedule of Dimensional Regulations of the Town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 10,000 square feet, 0.23 acres, and has 50 feet of frontage on Crandall Avenue. There are no wetlands on the property, and the property is in the AEBFE 12-foot flood zone. The lot is in the high-density residential 10 zone, HDR 10, and the surrounding neighborhood consists of HDR 10. The lot contains a 2,512 square foot single-family home, which was constructed in 2003. The zoning department supports this application. Like many of the properties in Misquamicut, the lot is only 50 feet wide, which leaves a building envelope width of only 20 feet in the HDR 10 zone. The house could not have been built farther back on the lot due to the required location of the septic system. The front deck is only 5 feet deep, which severely reduces the functionality of this outdoor area. The rear deck expansion will follow the sidelines of the existing deck and will not expand any farther into the side setback areas. The minor deck expansions will be in harmony with other homes in the area and will have no negative impact on abutting properties.
Okay. Attorney Nardone, you will be presenting this, I'm assuming?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Attorney William Nardone, offices at 42 Granite Street, Westerly, and I'm representing the applicant. The applicants are present this evening, along with David Gabriel, who was the contractor for this project. In keeping with your instructions and your rules, I'm going to keep this very brief because based upon what's been submitted and what your zoning official just explained to you, there isn't much left for me to say. As he indicated, it's a standard 50-foot wide lot located in the Misquamicut area, Crandall Avenue. And the requests are really quite simple. 3 variances, basically for the extension of decks that are existing at the property. Clearly in conformance with the neighbors. There are a number of houses, similar style, similar size, that have received variances in the Misquamicut area. The purpose is to slightly extend the outside living space so that the property owners can get the full benefit of the enjoyment of their property. We would respectfully request that you give us a favorable ruling and happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Does anybody have any questions for Attorney Nardone? Or the contractor, or anybody? Obviously, everybody's done their homework. All right, well, I guess that finishes your presentation.
Yes.
Is there anybody in this audience who wishes to speak in favor of this application? We have someone in the back. Please come forward to the podium. Sir, could you clearly state your name slowly and clearly and your address?
Absolutely. My name is Leon D'Onofrio. I reside at 1 Crandall Avenue. The requester of this variance is a neighbor, approximately one house in between the two of us, and I'm just here in support. I did write a letter and dropped it off at the town hall about a week and a half ago in support of this. The request, in my opinion, is extremely minor in nature. Doesn't extend the width of the existing decks in any way. It's really further back and for frontwards as well. I will say that there are numerous, if not all, the houses in the area have exceeded the current zoning requirements. And to me, this request is relatively minor in nature. And I think that it's not major at all, and anything you guys can do to assist would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for this gentleman?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to come speak in favor of this? Is there anyone who wishes to speak against this application? Is there anyone who needs more information? Okay, then my board seems to be satisfied. So I'll need a motion to close this hearing. Oh, yeah, we should do that. Let's start over here.
I'm in favor of this application.
I'm in favor of it as well.
I too.
Me too.
I'm also in favor.
In favor of?
Now can we have a motion to close the hearing? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, in that case, I am going to turn it over to Lori.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, we have before us a request by the applicant, property owners Neil and Susan Walsh, for a 7.7-foot front yard setback variance to construct a 2-foot 6-inch expansion of an existing front deck, as well as extension of an existing rear deck at 9 Crandall Avenue pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10 schedule of dimensional regulations of the town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The property contains 10,000 square feet, 0.23 acres, and has 50 feet of frontage on Crandall Avenue. There are no wetlands on the property, and the lot is in the AE/BFE 12-foot flood zone. The lot is in the high-density residential 10 zone, HDR 10, and the surrounding neighbors also consist of HDR 10 zoned lots. The lot contains a 2,512 square foot single-family home, which was constructed in 2003. The zoning board held a public hearing concerning this application on February 11th, 2026. Zoning board members, Chairman Lawrence Chapa, Vice Chair Dawn Robinson, Larry Burns, Alan Martone, Lori Moore, first alternate Leonard Saponari, and second alternate Stuart Miller were all present and heard testimony during the entirety of the public hearing. The zoning board was provided with a narrative by zoning official Martin Loisel dated February 5th, 2026, which outlined the details of the application and was also summarized by Mr. Loisel during the public hearing, thereby made a part of the record. The following individuals spoke as representatives of the applicant: William Nardone as attorney for the applicants. The following individuals spoke during the public hearing in support of the request: Leon D'Onofrio of 1 Crandall Avenue. No one spoke against this request. At the public hearing, no additional testimony or materials were entered into the record. Mr. Chairman, through the public hearing process, the board heard that the applicant's request for dimensional variance is based on the hardship created by the typical 50-foot wide lot, leaving only a 20-foot building envelope in this HDR 10 zone. The following plans and specifications are hereby made a part of this approval and may not be altered, amended, or changed in any material way approved by the Westerly Board of Review, Westerly Zoning Board of Review. The determination of when any alteration, amendment, or change in the approved plans is material shall be made by town zoning official and the zoning board chairman. The zoning board hereby grants to the zoning official administrative authority to approve further non-material modifications to its approved plans. Site plan, zoning plan, prepared per Neil E. Walsh, 9 Crandall Avenue, Plat 165, Lot 6, Westerly, Rhode Island, 02891. One sheet prepared by Dowdell Engineering LLC and stamped by Richard L. Kuchan, RIPLS, number 1820, dated September 17th, 2025. Considering the information presented at the public hearing, it is my opinion that the application has satisfied the standards of section 260-33 variances, whereby the granting of the variance is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or structure and not to the general characteristics of the surrounding area, and is not due to a physical or economic disability of the applicant, accepting those physical abilities dressed in 45-24 by 30A16 because the existing 5-foot deep deck severely reduces the functionality of the outdoor area. The location of the house is dictated by the acquired septic system location, and the minor relief requested will be similar or less than requested of other homes in the area with no negative impact on abutting properties. This is not a result of any prior action of the applicant and does not result primarily from the desire of the applicant to realize greater financial gain. In this case, the hardship claimed is lack of functionality of the existing outdoor area. This will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan upon which the ordinance is based because the variances requested is extremely minor in nature compared to other variances granted to the surrounding properties. The hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if the dimensional variance is not granted, will amount to more than a mere inconvenience, meaning that relief sought is minimal to a reasonable enjoyment of the permitted use to which the property is proposed to be devoted. The fact that a use may be more profitable or that a structure may be more valuable after the relief is granted is not grounds for relief. Here, the use is a single-family dwelling, and it is a permitted use. In addition, the applicant has demonstrated that if the dimensional variances is not granted, denial would amount to more than a mere inconvenience because these minor deck extensions of 2'6" to the existing front deck and 4-foot extension of the existing rear deck will add necessary space to create a functional outdoor area in this beach community for both owners and guests. As such, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve a 7.7-foot front yard setback variance to construct a 2.6-inch expansion of an existing front deck, as well as a 6'1" westerly side setback variance and a 5'6" easterly side setback variance to construct a 4-foot extension of an existing rear deck at 9 Crandall Avenue. Pursuant to section 260-33 variances and 260 attachment 10, schedule of dimensional regulations of the town of Westerly zoning ordinances. The following conditions, none.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second? Second?
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to just point out that our solicitor has joined our meeting. Scott. And our next one up is Postal Farms LLC, 105 Franklin Avenue. Would the people representing that application please come forward?
Attorney Lisa Hawley for the applicant, 536 Atwells Avenue, Providence.
Okay.
I have with me someone who I would like to
I
examine.
am going to just interrupt you because I need our zoning officer to give us a summary, and then we would love to hear from you.
Thank you.
All right. The applicant, Patrick Kilroy, is requesting a special use permit to operate a retail cannabis dispensary at 105 Franklin Street, units 3 and 4, pursuant to section 260-34 special use permits, 260-87.9 cannabis retail, and 260 attachment 11 zoning district use tables, use code F.8.11 of the town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 195,050 square feet, 4.48 acres, and is in the Highway Commercial Zone, HC. The surrounding neighborhood consists of highway commercial, general commercial, and high-density residential 15 zones. There are no wetlands on the property, and it is not in a flood zone. The property contains a 14,400 square foot multi-tenant retail building, as well as an 18,560 square foot multi-tenant retail building, both with associated parking. The zoning department supports this application. The proposed retail cannabis dispensary complies with all the required elements of 260-87.9 cannabis retail. The commercial unit that the business will occupy is in a shopping center, which the zoning ordinance defines as follows: a group of stores or other commercial establishments in one or more buildings planned, developed, and managed as a single facility on one lot with off-street parking provided on the lot. Since the unit is in a shopping center, the proposed use will have no more of an impact on the surrounding area than any other retail establishment at Mill Pond Plaza.
Does anybody have any questions for Marty? Okay. Now, please, we'll start over again, okay?
Thank you, sir. I have with me tonight Mr. Patrick Kilroy, the applicant, as well as Mr. Norman Peck. We're offering Mr. Peck as an expert in real estate and zoning. I have a short biography if you would like. I have 10 copies for the board.
Okay, I'm assuming he will be speaking tonight, so I would like to swear him in. Sir, could you state your name and again your what you're going to be doing, what you represent with this applicant?
It's Norman Peck, from Niantic, Connecticut. I'm the leasing agent for the Mill Pond Plaza, where this applicant wishes to exist.
Okay, thank you. Alan, did you get the name?
Yeah, is it Norman Peck?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Could you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, please
May
go
I
ahead.
approach the board with the bio?
Sure. Would you give it to Marty? Oh, Marty,
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to ask Marty to look it over quickly,
It's short.
Oh, this is his.
and your advice on accepting his expertise, Marty? And Scott?
So with your permission, Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the one-page document that's just been handed up by the applicant as applicants one for purposes of this hearing. And obviously you can look at the qualifications and take the evidence for what it's worth, since the rules of evidence do not apply.
And in what capacity will this gentleman be representing the applicant?
Can you repeat yourself? I didn't hear the beginning.
In what capacity will this gentleman be representing the applicant as?
I'm going to proffer him as an expert in real estate and zoning, specifically as to the property and the surrounding area.
Okay, we will accept that expertise in real estate in that particular area.
Thank you. May I begin?
Please do so.
Mr. Peck, what is your occupation
A commercial real estate agent.
and whom are you employed by?
I'm self-employed, but I'm associated with the Signature Properties of New England, located in Montville, Connecticut.
And
Excuse me one moment. Could you move the microphone closer to you, please? Thank you.
how long have you been employed in real estate?
Since 1993,
And in what capacities?
same capacity as described.
And have you been involved with any zoning commissions or boards?
Yes, I've been on the East Lyme Zoning Board in Connecticut for way too long, since 1993, 1989.
As a board member?
Yeah, yes,
Thank you. Do you have any knowledge of the purpose and standards for a special use permit?
yes.
And have you had the opportunity to review the cannabis ordinance for the town of Westerly?
I have not.
Have you had the opportunity to become familiar with the property at 105 Franklin Road in Westerly?
Yes,
And is the property a shopping plaza within the definition of the Westerly zoning ordinances?
I would say so, yes.
I have a site plan that the board has, but I have a larger one. I'd like him to indicate the plaza. I'm showing you a site plan that's described as site, landscape, and lighting plan prepared for D'Amato Investments LLC. Are you familiar with this property?
Yes,
And do you have any knowledge as to when this development actually came to be?
most of it was built in the early 80s. There's a section on the north side, which happens to be highlighted. That was put in early 2000s.
Is that the area that is occupied by a hardware?
No, the Ace Hardware is down below by itself.
And what is the area that you talk of that was expanded? Do you know what is in that?
There's a cigar store, Joyce's hair salon, I believe. There's a dog groomer.
So it's all retail.
Yeah, it's all retail or personal services.
And are you aware of any expansions to the property or additions?
There are no plans for additions as far as I know.
And are you aware of whether this application seeks to change the existing use of the property in any way?
No, it's I consider it a retail store.
And are you aware of whether the plan proposed that the zoning board is considering today, if it deals with any type of additions?
No, there's be no expansion of the square footage. There's two 800 square foot units combined.
Do you have any knowledge about how many parking spots are in this plaza?
Yes, there, to the best of my count, there were 386.
Do you have any opinion whether this proposed use would be compatible with what the property is currently used for?
I think so. I think it'll enhance bringing in more traffic. I don't think it's going to be overwhelming traffic like it was 10 years ago when these type of businesses first sprouted.
When you talk about these type of businesses, can you tell the board what? particular-
Cannabis stores, medical marijuana stores, when they first came out, they were mobbed, a tremendous amount of foot and car traffic, but since there've been more, the foot traffic and parking demand is much less.
Do you have experience with any cannabis retail, either as a realtor or in your role on the zoning board in East Lyme?
Yes, both. In East Lyme, there was a cannabis store that was opened up probably 4 times as large as the applicants. And it opened about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and there's only about 25 parking spaces for this. So, there have been no complaints.
Are you aware of any problems with loitering or people lining up and causing confusion or disruption to the area?
I have heard none.
Do you have any opinion, and that opinion to a reasonable degree of certainty with respect to your real estate knowledge and matters, as to whether this proposed use would adversely impact any of the surrounding area or neighboring properties?
I don't think so. You know, watching other stores like this, I've heard of nothing. I think it'll enhance the center. And I have to add, the parking, other than these 2 units, there's only one more 800 square foot space available for lease. And there's quite a few parking spaces vacant most of the time.
Do you have any opinion on whether or not this proposed use would be environmentally compatible to the surrounding areas?
I see no environmental issue.
And do you have any opinion on whether or not this will cause any environmental harm to the plaza?
No.
That's all I have for Mr. Peck. If you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions for the witness? Go ahead, please.
Mr. Peck, are you the leasing agent for the entire plaza?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
since 2013.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Is there going to be any open cannabis at this store, or is it prepackaged and sold as a prepackaged item?
I'll
Yeah.
have to have the applicant answer that question.
All of the products are prepackaged. This is not a cannabis grow. It is simply retail. So all of the packaging will come, the product will come in packaging and then will be sold
Okay, so
at
there's-
this retail.
There's no odor to anybody walking by or
No,
anything of that nature?
usually the odor comes from cannabis cultivation. We don't assume that there will be any odor whatsoever, but Mr. Kilroy also owns a cannabis cultivation in Richmond, and he is well aware of air scrubbers. And part of the plan is to put an air scrubber where it is stored, but we don't anticipate any odor emitting at all from the location.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay, no questions here. Are you, yeah, go ahead.
So we've had other cannabis applications come in, and there has been a lot of description about security and the number of people that can be in the store and
I'm going to interrupt you, Dawn. Marty, could you refer to us about the security?
Sure. Well, I mean, you can discuss it in a general sense, but the security plan that the applicant needs to file is confidential. So specifics of the security plan, you can't really ask where cameras are going to be located or, various elements of a security.
so I guess just from a community perspective, there is one, there is a plan.
I don't know if they've drawn one up.
I can present on that. I was prepared to, if you'd like me to. I know that is,
Wait a minute, Marty,
Well, just say from the town standpoint, they're not required to present a security plan to the town until they apply for a business license and/or a building permit for the interior renovations.
But if she wishes to address it, she's welcome to.
She's an attorney. She knows what she can and can't say.
I just wanted to put that on the record so we didn't make any mistakes here.
Absolutely. I'm happy to address it, and I'm happy to call Mr. Kilroy if you have any questions. Let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Kilroy so you can have a sense of what his plans are. Mr. Kilroy has extensive experience running businesses in Rhode Island. In addition to a cannabis business, Mr. Kilroy took over his family's restaurant business in Newport over 20 years ago. He currently owns 7 restaurants in the Newport area. He employs over 500 people during peak Newport hours. And he is a partner in a cannabis business called Coastal Farms in Richmond. He's always been in good standing with the DBR with his cannabis license. He has not had any enforcement issues. And as the board may be aware, I think you said you've heard other cannabis applications. The state has accepted applications for retail cannabis licenses, and those applications closed in December. However, the state has given until March to complete the zoning process. That may be why you're seeing people now. And the second phase of the selection will take place in Q2. What that means, the second phase, is after applicants have been deemed qualified, they will go into a lottery. And this particular region is slated to have 2 retail stores, not necessarily Westerly. The region goes from Westerly up to Exeter. And I want to talk a bit about this project and what Mr. Kilroy envisions. He intends to set a new standard for cannabis retail by delivering professional, wellness-focused, welcoming, and coastal inspired experience for adults 21 and over. The company has a commitment to strict regulatory compliance, comprehensive security measures, and responsible financial management, along with community engagement. As to the community plan, the safety plan, I have already been in touch with the chief on a few occasions. We've discussed the plan. I actually provided him with the security plan that we have proposed. Because Mr. Kilroy is a cannabis licensee now, he knows fully well what needs to be done as far as lighting, cameras, security, alarms. That was all presented. Although we didn't have to do so as early as December, I did call the chief and we discussed what this plan will look like. I haven't heard anything negative from him. He was glad that we had sent it to him for review. Our targeted demographic, as is with all cannabis, is over 21. Part of the security plan that I'm happy to share is there's a check-in area. No one under 21 can get past that area. The check-in area determines the age, takes identifications. And just for the board's information, if you're interested in it, statistically in Rhode Island, the average user is 37.68 years of age. It really does not bring what you would think like back in the day when people tried to sneak into liquor stores with fake IDs. That's not what cannabis brings. One of the big things about Coastal, as well as Mr. Kilroy, is our facility plan is focused on safety. It's focused on being able to securely store cannabis so it is not at risk for theft, burglary, diversion. And as such, he has already spoken to a retired law enforcement officer who will be head of security for this location. There's a robust security command center that views all the cameras, both the back, the front. And we see this as having limited impact on this plaza. Cannabis, as Mr. Peck said, will soon become like liquor stores. You'll see them around and it won't be, such a thing that someone has to get in and see what a cannabis store is about. But our biggest focus is on physical security, personnel security, and operational security. And we hope that that is something that Westerly will look to and say that, you know, this is our focus. We will not be a burden on the town of Westerly. Also, as the town probably knows, that through the votes, 3% tax is assessed, and it will go back to the town should there be any strain on town services, which we do not expect. That is my presentation. I have Mr. Kilroy here. Should you have any questions of him or of me, I'm happy to answer them.
Go ahead, Dawn. You're good?
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody wish me to call Mr. Gilroy up for any questions? No. Well, okay, you can go to the podium here, but I'm going to need you to state your name, your, why you're here but
Sure.
clearly.
Patrick Kilroy, I live at 62 Bridge Street in Newport, and I'm here with Coastal Farms application.
I do have to swear you in because you're coming in as part of the application. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and speak.
So just a few things to, explain. Lisa kind of hit on it, but I just want to straighten it. Our security system is tied in to the DBR in the state of Rhode Island. So that is one thing. Our camera system has got longer record times that the state requires us. So if anything, I think the plaza is safer with our system in place. It's got longer recording. As far as the building goes, we have like a vault where we're going to keep all of our storage. So another secured room inside the building. I was going to say something else. I forgot. Oh, and there's 2 hurdles. This is the first hurdle for us to jump through. And then we do go to a lottery. So even if this application gets approved, then we have to win the lottery. So this isn't even a done deal if you guys approve it, I guess is another thing. And the last thing I was going to say, and the reason why the state is doing this is because it is true. When these stores first came out in Rhode Island, there was only 3 stores and it was overloaded with traffic. And then since then, the state has opened up. They're supposed to open 6 more, but none of them got open. So there's a total of 9 stores that spread out the need of Cross Rhode Island. And now the state's doing it again to relieve the traffic on the places like Providence and Cranston and Warwick, because it's higher thing. So the state's trying to do the right thing and spread it out, because some people in Westerly now are driving all the way to Providence or Warwick and congesting that. So that's the whole reason why the state is doing this, is to spread it out, not to be a burden on those things. So the one thing the state got right. Now, anyone got any questions?
Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Gilroy.
All right, thank you.
All right, and are you completed with your application, with your presentation?
Unless you have questions for me.
Okay, nobody seems to have any. So I will say, does anybody in the audience wish to come up and speak in favor of this application? Okay, does anybody in the audience wish to come up and speak against this application? All right, please very clearly state your
Sure.
name and address.
My name is Melissa Falcone, and my husband and I own 5 Whipple Ave. We also own 1 Whipple Ave, which is, we own Plart 9868 and 9869. My in-laws own 69A.
You're on Whipple Avenue.
Correct.
Okay.
So this establishment, their back door to my property line is 17 feet. Their back door to my back door is 55 feet. I have children playing outside. I don't think this is appropriate.
This building is on the opposite side.
This is on the opposite side.
From what the letter had said, this was 3 and 4. This is where Tootsie's would be. Is that not correct?
That's incorrect. It's actually 30 units, 32 and 33, which is the opposite side of the.
So this is on the side where Casa del Luce is?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good. I mean, I don't want it that close, but still, like, I thought this was like 17 feet from my boundary line.
This
Okay.
is near the Ace Hardware, about
Okay.
3 stores in on the.
Also, though, I do want to point out that the lights right there, there's only two turning, there, you can only fit 2 cars in that left turning lane to turn into that plaza, and the lights turn very slowly. And there doesn't seem to be as much parking. We do go to the plaza often. Casa del Luce, you know, they're not even busy sometimes and you can't get a parking spot. We are Westerly residents. We know that.
Thank you. Did you wish to,
Mr. Falcone,
ma'am,
can I have your first name, please?
Melissa.
Melissa, okay, thank you.
did anybody have any questions of this witness?
Excuse, I just want to get the correct unit numbers for the record, so when they read it into the record, we're not giving the wrong.
Yes, it's 32 and 33.
Okay.
I think somehow it came on as
I
3
think
and
a
4.
digit got dropped
Yeah.
or something somewhere, I don't know.
Okay.
Could you show me on the map just so I can see? Okay, that'd be great. Melissa. Okay, so there is no houses behind there?
No, there's wooded area and then.
In order to speak, we need you to go to the microphone, please.
There are no houses behind that location. It's a wooded area, which I think is also part of another shopping plaza that there's a coffee shop and then another way into another shopping plaza. So that's what it abuts to the rear. I know where you're talking about. There is houses on the opposite side over here.
Correct, and we own that.
We're here.
Okay. The only other issue would be the traffic. So there's 28,000 cars on that street a day, and it would add 10,000 more. And that's a congested area.
Did you wish to address the traffic as she's talking?
So I live on Whipple, so it's hard to get out as it is.
I'm not certain that we can assume that we're going to have 10,000 more.
So it was proposed in the last marijuana, somebody tried to get an application before for Friendly's, the old Friendly's building. And that was the proposed amount, was 10,000 extra a day. And that 28,000, actually 29,000 travel that road a day. In that area between 17.
That doesn't sound possible.
I don't.
Single business to get
We didn't
2,000
hear that. That was in front of the planning board, but I.
That was in the application for the Friendly's.
Yeah, go ahead.
In reference to what you're saying, in all due respect, it's a retail outlet that's already been approved for retail. It doesn't really matter what you're selling. It's still.
So what are you going to do for traffic
If
though, if we
somebody-
can't get out of our
If
road?
somebody opened up a flower shop there and people came in and out to buy flowers, or another restaurant or whatever.
Sir, with all due disrespect, 10,000 people are not going to come a day to buy flowers.
How many people are gonna go to a restaurant? How many people are gonna go?
Not
to-
10,000
to-
people
to a
though.
package? I've never heard, I've never.
Excuse me, I'm gonna cut that off right here. Scott, is traffic not, surveillance part of the, police department? Is that, could we address that?
Yeah, so traffic hasn't become an issue because it's not part of the submission package, because it's just a change in use.
Okay. So that's really something that for us would not be part of our decision here, but that would have to be brought up with the police department if there was an issue. And that is a state road, so I imagine they know, where to go for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I just address for the board this 10,000 number? Although it's another applicant, which I'm not familiar with, I can tell you the largest compassion centers, which are different than retail. They have both medical and retail cannabis. This is just retail in Providence, Warwick, and Pawtucket. Do not get 10,000 customers a day. So to think that this very small retail, boutique retail would get 10,000 customers I don't know where those numbers would have come from, and I can only hope the other applicant gets 10,000 because that sounds quite successful. This is not what we anticipate whatsoever. It just doesn't have that draw anymore.
Go ahead, Dawn.
First of all, Melissa, thanks for coming forward. We appreciate you being a neighbor coming forward and speaking on behalf of the people who would not or could not come out. In the last discussion we had, it wasn't about friendlies. We have never talked about friendlies on this board, just so you know. And the other application was for another plaza in town. You could probably go back and look in public record and you could find what it was. Yeah, so it's not, it wasn't that either. So, but no traffic reports have been asked for either application, correct?
We don't for any zoning variance or special use permit for a retail plaza because you've got one commercial retail use changing to another commercial. It's not new construction.
Right,
Um,
right.
If this were a new, single, standalone commercial building being constructed, then yeah, we would need a traffic report, we need planning board review and all that.
Yep. And then my last comment is with respect to what Mr. Kilroy said. If the state is really trying to spread out what is going on, and I'm speaking directly to you, Melissa, so that you can kind of like get on my vibe and see if you agree. We do have residents that are in need of cannabis traveling all the way to other places to get it. So if there's a way to support the community, you know, for medicinal purposes, I'm in agreement with that, just to get on the same level. Right? So that, you know, if that's really what's going on here, then I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same wavelength.
Is there any other people, anybody else in the audience who wishes to speak on this issue either way? All right, any last comments here for from the board or questions? Okay, well, let's poll the board on this and we'll start at this side.
I have nothing. I have no objection to this application.
I'm actually more than in favor of having it in this plaza because I feel like what I refer to as the McQuaid's Plaza has been losing traffic over the last couple of years. I've been a patron of several of the businesses in there and they've been losing business. That does not mean that I feel like we have to have cannabis to get everybody in town there. But any business that will go that is being a good business owner in town, I feel should be supported in a plaza that has some maturity in our town.
I'm also in favor of the application.
I happen to use that plaza a lot and I see many, many open parking spaces there throughout the day and evening when I go get my pizza and the hardware store. So I am definitely in favor of this application. Thank
Okay.
you.
And I agree with my colleagues here. And if Whipple Avenue was affected by traffic, that could be approached by to the police department and see what can be done there. Okay, so in that case, I'll make a motion to close this hearing.
So moved.
And seconded. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And I turn it over to Alan.
Mr. Chairman, we have before us a request by D'Amato Investments LLC, which is requesting a special use permit to operate a retail cannabis dispensary at 105 Franklin Street, units 32 and 33, pursuant to section 260-34, special use permits, 260-87.9, cannabis retail, and 260, attachment 11, zoning district use tables, use code F811 of the Town of Westerly zoning ordinance. The subject property contains 195,050 square feet or 4.48 acres with 411.66 feet of frontage on Franklin Street and is in a highway commercial HC zone. The surrounding neighborhood consists of highway commercial, HC, general commercial, GC, and high-density residential, 15, HDR 15 zones. There are no wetlands on the property, and it is not in a flood zone. The property contains a 14,400 square foot multi-tenant retail building, as well as an 18,560 square foot multi-tenant retail building, both with associated parking. The zoning board hearing was held on February 11th, 2026. Zoning board members, Chairman Lawrence Chapa, Vice Chair Dawn Robinson, Larry Burns, Alan Martone, Laurie Moore, Alternate 1, Lennon Saponari, and Alternate 2, Stuart Miller, were present and heard testimony during the entirety of the public hearing. The zoning board was provided with a narrative by a zoning official, Martin Loisel, dated February 5th, 2026, which outlined the details of the application and was summarized by Mr. Loisel at the February 11th public hearing, thereby made part of the record. The following individuals spoke as representatives and the experts of the applicant: Attorney Lisa Hawley, applicant Patrick Kilroy, and Norman Peck, who is a real estate agent and the leasing agent for the property. There were no people who spoke in favor of the request. Melissa Falcone spoke in opposition to the request. During the public hearing, the following testimony and materials were entered into the record. The applicant presented a biography or resume for Norman Peck, highlighting his professional qualification as a real estate agent. The following plans and specifications are hereby made a part of the approval and may not be altered, amended, or changed in any material way unless approved by the Westerly Zoning Board of Review. The determination of whether any alteration, amendment, or change in the approved plans is material shall be made by the town zoning official and the zoning board chairman. The zoning board hereby grants to the zoning official administrative authority to approve further non-material modifications to the approved plans. The site plans, the site and landscaping and lighting plan was prepared for D'Amato Investments LLC, 105 to 125 Franklin Street, US Route 1, Plat 98, Lot 70, Westerly, Rhode Island. One sheet prepared by Sharenza Associates, stamped by Carolyn J. Doyle, number 5078, and dated May 12th, 2003. Mr. Chairman, through the public hearing process, the board heard that the applicant's request for a special use permit was based on the plan to open a retail cannabis dispensary. Considering the information presented at the public hearing, it is my opinion that the applicant has satisfied the standards of section 260-34 special use permits, whereby the granting of the special use permit will be compatible with the neighboring uses and will not adversely affect the surrounding neighbors' use and enjoyment of their property, because it will be located in a commercial shopping plaza and complies with chapter 260 zoning article 11 development standards for particular uses, section 260 87.9, which is cannabis retail. There are satisfactory provisions and arrangements have been made concerning, but not limited to, the following matters where applicable: satisfactory ingress and egress to the lot, to the existing proposed structure therein, traffic flow and control, and access in case of fire, emergency, or catastrophe, has been shown because the proposed business is located in a large shopping plaza with a parking lot and traffic light facilitating ingress and egress. Satisfactory off-street parking and loading areas, pedestrian and bicycle circulation and convenience has been shown by the very nature of the subject property. Satisfactory noise, glare, odor effects, and special use on the adjoining lots has been shown The planned dispensary will be no different than any other business on the property. Satisfactory location and maintenance of trash, storage, delivery areas are demonstrated by the maintenance of trash and storage and delivery will be consistent with the other businesses in the area. Satisfactory utilities with reference to locations, availability, compatibility is demonstrated by the conformity with other neighboring businesses. Satisfactory screening and buffering with reference to type, dimensions, and character as evidenced by the proposed business will conform to adjacent businesses. Satisfactory signs, if any, and exterior lighting with reference to glare, traffic safety, and compatibility and harmony with lots in the zoning district has been shown that in the plan, it shows that the lighting is designed to illuminate all sides of the building, but is shielded to prevent any disturbance to adjacent businesses. Satisfactory required yards, landscape, and other open space is proven by the landscaping and open spaces are presently well maintained. Satisfactory soil erosion, water supply protection, and wetland and wildlife protection has been addressed as shown by the proven compliance by the shopping center. Satisfactory general compatibility with lots in the same abutting zoning district is seen by the plans showing that it will blend in seamlessly with the neighboring businesses. Satisfactory protection of property values as evidenced by the general appearance and maintenance of the existing businesses in the parcel. That all best practices and procedures to minimize the possibility of any adverse effects on the neighborhood property is because the business will be located in a shopping center, which is a group of stores managed as a single facility on one lot with off-street parking, and the business will not have any more impact than any other retail operation in the plaza. It is also in compliance with Article 11, Chapter 26087.9 for cannabis retail. As such, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the special use permit application, which proposes to operate a retail cannabis dispensary at 105 Franklin Street, units 32 and 33 pursuant to section 260-34 special use permits and 260-87.9 cannabis retail and 260 attachment 11 zoning district use tables, use code F811 of the town of Westerly zoning ordinance with no conditions attached to the approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Approved.
Thank you.
Now, Marty, next month, we have two appeal applications.
Yes, they're appealing the same thing.
Are they handled separately? I mean, but.
Well, we've kind of had a discussion about that. We have to kind of leave it up to them as I understand it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
We have to kind of leave it up to them as I understand it. They're technically two separate applications. So it's up to them if they want to combine and be heard at the same time, since they're essentially making the same arguments, but we can't mandate it.
All right, now, I'm only saying that for Dawn's purposes. Does she have to assign two separate people to this, or can she assign the same person?
I think you should assign the same person to do both.
Okay?
This predates me by a few months, actually, this appeal. That's how long it's been going.
You're right.
Yeah.
That'll be up to us at that point. Yeah. Yeah, but I just wanted, for Dawn's purpose, to
Yeah,
assign one person to them.
yeah. I think, Scott, do you agree that the decision should be separate since they're two separate applications?
Let's see how they want to proceed. We'll advise you at the time. If they're combined, then we can possibly do a combined decision. Let's see how they want to proceed.
We're talking about Hinkley Allen and the Pierce Atwood are both contesting.
Right. They're making the same arguments. They're just representing different parties.
Okay. Well. Right.
Well, whatever we recommend will be, what Larry's saying is we'll just make one recommendation based on both parts. So I'll just accept that.
Right, then we have nothing else, need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor? It always happens, okay. I'm assuming, nobody said anything